We very quickly realized that the only thing the VAs can't do is stuff where you physically have to be present in the office.
That's my last yeah, that's
yes.
my last thing.
Yeah. It's only that. And look, if we have good people here, we're gonna keep them because they can be physically here and do physical stuff as well as do a good job with what they're doing. And we have some good quality employees. I don't want to poo-poo that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But for all the others who are creating a problem on purpose to try to sabotage this from going through, it's like the guys in the auto industry, when the robots came in, they would break the robots just to make sure they wouldn't lose a job.
Yeah.
Well, they were out the door anyway. And
Yeah.
then you know what happened when it didn't work here? All this stuff got offshore. And the auto industry, I mean, look at where Detroit is right now, you know? So, this is going to happen across the healthcare industry and across a lot of other industries, whether people want it to or not. The only question is, do you adopt this properly and early so you become one of the survivors as a practice and as a business, or do you not adopt it and not survive?
Agreed.
It is what it is.
Anything you want? Yeah, in regards to the culture difference.
Culture difference, let me tell you, there's a culture. I'm in Texas. There's a culture difference between the East Coast, between the West Coast, what people sound like, and so forth and so on. You are not going to make everybody happy. But the fact of the matter is, since COVID, people are used to dealing with on the phone people offshore.
Sure.
It is what it is.
All the banks in the United States and the solar company, all of them are.
All of them, all the major corporations for IT, any multinational corporation or any multi-billion-dollar company in the United States, all their tech, all of that, all their support lines, all their helplines, all the 1-800 numbers is all offshore.
Yep.
Okay.
Most of the voice are in the Philippines, by the way.
Right.
The IT stuff goes a lot of India and Pakistan, but most of the voice goes to the Philippines because the accent is better.
I want to put this. Here's an example where this is the irony. If you're a physician and you're worried about this, I'm going to throw this one at you. Okay. So we've got, I've got people doing my phone reception and all that, but I've also got people doing my authorizations for office visits, and you guys are doing authorizations for surgeries and stuff like this. Okay, so think about this for a second. You've got your person here historically who would get the authorization for, hold on a second, I got someone asking.
You're good.
Oh, Keys. Okay, hold on.
You're
in the background, I got work. We'll redo that. Okay, so historically, you got people doing your authorizations here in your office for, let's say, a surgical procedure, right? And they get on the line with X, Y, and Z insurance company, and guess where the support person is from that insurance company? They're in the Philippines.
Yeah. Yep.
So, wait a moment. I got a better idea. Why doesn't my employee from the Philippines talk to the insurance company's employee from the Philippines, and then they can get along and figure this all out?
Yep.
Like, that makes sense to me. I don't know why, but it just does. So where's the cultural problem here?
I agree.
Unfortunately, we've in this country, so many employees have basically given away their jobs to either automation or foreign labor. Yeah. It's like you're going to be the little, if you're going to go against this grain, you're going to be the little Dutch boy with your finger in the dike, except there's no dike left. You're just sitting there with your hand up in the air. That's what's going to happen, So
last thing, so and actually it goes down to what we just spoke about. We had this call, so obviously I'm good. I'm not a doctor. I'm an entrepreneur. I had several businesses. I love working with people. I like HR. I like building systems. but I'm not a doctor.
HR, the fact that you like HR, God bless you.
Yeah,
It's
I
such
know.
a pain in the butt.
No, actually, that's my partner, Al. He's doing the HR.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
So
Well,
that's easy
thank
for me
God
to
for
say
Al,
that.
because oh boy, there are a lot of jobs I do. HR, if I
Stop.
could get rid of one thing that I don't want to
Oh,
do, I'll change the oil on my car before I do HR. Okay? Right
yeah.
there. Okay.
Uh, so yeah, obviously I'm not a doctor, but I was amazed. We had this conversation
Yep.
on the Zoom with this. I think she was in HR in the hospital,
Yep.
and I know that I can help with doctors
Thank you.
with billing, with coding, with
Right.
scribing, with pre-authorization, with intake,
Right.
with inbound, with outbound, with front desk.
Yep.
And then also some other stuff like personal admins, bookkeepers. I got actually some that there's great bookkeepers over there. I got some CPAs that are using the Filipino label. I
Really?
got yeah.
We're gonna have to talk
Uh,
more.
I got I do all my books with Filipinos.
Be careful what you offer, you. You're
They're
giving me
they're
ideas
amazing.
over here.
Paralegals. So I got lawyers that are using
Paralegals?
yeah, paralegals is very,
Okay.
very common
Well,
in
now
the
my wife
Philippines.
is going to be
Yeah.
interested.
Social media, sales,
Yep.
and
Yep.
there's so many things that you could delegate offshore.
Right. Right.
And then we had this call and you said, and you spoke with this lady and you said, look, everything instead of the fact that the nurse needs to come with the needle and take the blood off,
Yep.
honestly, anything else you can offshore. So I'm just
Oh
thinking
yeah.
out loud with you, like as a physician, what are actually the necessary things that a physician needs physically done in the office? Because basically it can offshore everything else.
You see, this is what you got to do. I remember this call is that we're so used to, and managers are so used to the idea that because employees force this issue too. This is a job, right? With all these job requirements, because that's what we have to do, put job requirements. I have to fill this job.
Mhm.
Stop. Stop doing that. What you do is you look at all your employees. Let's say you have 10 employees, and 30% of this employee's work can be put offshore, and 90% of this one, and 70% of this one, and 21% of this, and so forth and so on. Take all that work capacity and move it offshore. All of a sudden, the remaining manpower you have, okay, can be divided up and used to do the work that needs to be done here. So you're changing the job descriptions of those people, but just leaving here what you need for people here. And the trick is, you don't even have to let people go because they're just evaporating and quitting on their own. It's just you don't replace them. And the work that needs to be done locally, you do locally. Okay. But when you look at an office, like a medical office, what do you really need people here for? You don't need them for scribing. That can be done remotely. You don't need them for authorization. You don't need them for incoming and outgoing calls. You don't need them for setting up appointments. Okay. You don't need them for getting authorizations or verifying insurances. You don't need them for keeping up with stuff in the EHR and verifying stuff with that. You don't need them for reordering of a lot of the drugs because that's all done automated or can be done through the EHR. Anything that has to be done through the EHR, since it's cloud-based, you don't need a warm body here. You basically need someone to sit at the front desk, walk the patient back to the room, take their blood pressure, maybe their weight, do bloods or whatever it is, and when you're done with them, check them out. That is it. Okay. And maybe someone physically here to manage stuff. That's what you actually absolutely require. If you've got other people who are doing other stuff, that's wonderful. It's nice to have more support staff here because in case of emergency or what have you, or someone's sick. But the fact of the matter is, if you look at it that way, almost everything else, can be offshored. We don't have paper charts anymore. That's all gone. So if everything,
Probably more than 80% of this
right,
stuff.
oh, easily, if the entire health record is in the cloud, it can be accessed anywhere. Why do you need someone in any one physical location? And so and part of the reason why I I came to this conclusion, I think quicker than others, is I go to a lot of satellite offices, satellite clinics. So I quickly had to figure out what I actually had to physically carry with me and who I physically had to take versus what I could leave behind and be done in the office. And everything I could leave behind can be offshore. Okay. And even some of the stuff I was taking with me because we had scribes and all this, that can be offshore. So it's look, you're not, again, it's a tool. You're not trying to replace people necessarily. What you're trying to do is augment it so that instead of hiring 10 employees here to get the job done, you have one employee here and 9 employees somewhere else supporting your one. And all of a sudden you get 20 times the productivity. That's what you're looking for, you know?
Basically, so yeah, that's it. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much. You, like I said, the journey with you is amazing for me. Like I said, that there are a lot of different clients, and the fact that you're so cooperative, you know what you're doing, and it's working. It's working, and I believe that we also created a friendship that is getting
Yes.
bigger and bigger, and
Yep.
that's always the fun. People are always doing business, money, money, but they forget that it's also a people's world,
Oh,
and
yeah.
just to have a talk and then laugh and help each other, and you helped me a lot with this interview, and helped me a lot also tweaking my business, actually talking with my account managers, with my supervisor. Hey, that's not good, that's not good, but the process was very, very good on our end, and again, thank you so much for this interview. I just want you to say closing words, just like in regards to, first of all, we didn't find, I don't know if I'm a VA staffing agency, so if you have a description, I'm still thinking about it, but yes, like a full stack medical
It's
staffing solution, something very
it's
vague. Yeah.
the problem is it's really hard to pin down because what people are looking for and what they want right now with this are two different things. Okay. It's like 10 years ago, when doctors were looking for people to take care of their notes, they would say, oh, I need a nurse to do my notes and then I'll sign off on my notes. They didn't need a nurse, they needed a medical scribe. But that terminology didn't even exist then. Now we've got medical scribes, and they don't get paid what nurses get paid because you don't need a nurse, you need a scribe.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think you're really in that same spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where people are thinking well, I need a staffing agency or I need a virtual
A VA, yeah.
assistant. Yeah. You don't need a virtual assistant. You need an office solution is what you're really providing. A medical office solution as far as the staffing, the logistics, the infrastructure, the organizational component, the support component, the IT component, it all works together because if I have a problem integrating you guys with the phone system, you take care of it. If I have a problem integrating you guys with the EHR, you guys take care of it. So it all works together as a single solitary solution because anytime you have two things from two different directions, they all blame each other, that it's this guy who is the problem, not me, and so forth. So I think it's a medical office solution is probably the best way I would describe it.
Offshore.
And
Maybe I should add the word offshore, medical office solution.
or a
Offshore.
medical office. Yeah, I mean, there's got it because it's a full package.
Yeah.
You're not
It's not a
just
VA. I'm competing against VAs. I don't
you're
have
not a
VAs.
VA. I
Yeah.
mean, you provide, but
VA.
it's like saying, well, I'll sell you a muffler. Well, you're not just you're fixing the whole vehicle and you're providing the service.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yep.
And to my mind, looking out there with what I've seen, nobody else is doing this functionally,
I hope so. That's what I'm trying to create. That's it. Any other thing that you want to add?
I think we got it. I just think
Oh
we
yeah.
got to keep this growing,
Right.
And I
Yeah.
think I think I'm getting flagged over here because I think my clinic is about to start. Is that it started, the clinic, I got